Hello, you guys! Welcome to my channel. In Korean, there are the expressions that are used only when talking to someone, like 들게요. The ending words 잖아요 and 거든요 are another one of them. And there are more to know about the two ending words. And it is good to understand that the two words are used in the opposite situations. 잖아요 and 거든요. Take any of the 품사. Since both words start with consonants, they don't change the forms when combining with vocabs. However, when used with noun, E is added depending on the type of last syllable of the noun. Also, other auxiliary words or tense can be put in front together with them. These can be the examples for each case. It can be understood that 잖아요 is a term created by combining 지 않다, an auxiliary word for negation, and 아어요, the most basic term for ending, as a function of question. This is because 지 않아요 is literally a negative expression that asks what you don't know. But on the other hand, it is also an expression that asks if the other person agrees with your opinion. You can get 잖아요 by making this with a stronger tone. For that reason, the formal form of 잖아요 can be expressed as 지 않습니까 or 잖습니까. There is no form 잖습니다. However, it does not function as a question. In the case of 거든요, finding its etymology is not very meaningful. It should be noted that unlike 잖아요, there is no formal form for 거든요. As mentioned, you use these words when you are in conversation because they are used in situations only when there is someone who listens to you. The two words have the opposite concept. Basically, 잖아요 is used for what you think the other person already know, and 거든요 is for what you think the person doesn't know yet. Here, it doesn't matter much whether the other person really truly knows the content or not. The way you think about the content relating to who you are talking to is the point. Let's look at the example sentences. 여기에서 근처 공원까지 어떻게 가나요? How can I get to a nearby park from here? 저기 편의점이 있잖아요. 편의점에서 오른쪽으로 돌아서 조금만 걸어가면 서점이 보이거든요. 서점 맞은편이 공원이에요. We see a convenience store over there. Turn right at the convenience store and walk a little to see a bookstore. There is a park across from the bookstore. 네, 감사합니다. 그런데 몇 분쯤 걸릴까요? 제가 빨리 가야 하거든요. Okay, thank you. How long will it take? Because I'm in a hurry. 편의점까지 가깝잖아요. 서점이 저기에서 멀지 않으니 3분이면 도착할 거예요. We see it's close to the convenience store. The bookstore is not far from there. So, you will be there in 3 minutes. Ka is the person who doesn't know the geography of the neighborhood. And Na is the person who tells him the way to go. Therefore, 거든요 is naturally used to tell the stranger what you know. On the contrary, the stranger will also be aware of the facts that there is a convenience store because he would see what you see from the same position. So you use 잖아요 in this case. The fact that 가 doesn't have much time is unknown to Na because they met for the first time. So here, 거든요 is right to be used. Now, let's see somewhat different usages of the words from one another. Number 1. 왜 한국어를 배워요? Why do you learn Korean? 제 할머니가 한국 분이시거든요. 제 할머니가 한국 분이시잖아요. My grandmother is Korean. You know? Number 2. 이 글자는 어떻게 읽어요? How do you read this letter? 이건 한국어가 아니거든요. 이건 한국어가 아니잖아요. 그래서 저도 몰라요. This is not Korean. So, I don't know either. Number 3. 제가 지난주에 감기에 걸렸거든요. 제가 지난주에 감기에 걸렸잖아요. I caught a cold last week. You know? 아, 지금은 괜찮아요? Yeah. Are you okay now? Number 4. 키가 170cm시네요. Oh, you were 170 centimeters tall. 171cm거든요. 171cm잖아요. I am 171 centimeters tall. You know? In addition to the division of the use of 거든요 and 잖아요, depending on the other person's perception of the content, there are more things to know about its use and tone. First of all, both words focus on the connection of the content in the conversation. In other words, 거든요 and 잖아요 are mainly used when there are more sentences connected to the content at the front or back of the sentences in which these words are used. What this means is that the two words function to indicate that you are in the middle of the conversation. The other sentence may be from you who says 거든요 or 잖아요, or from the listener. For that reason, 거든요 and 잖아요 are mainly used to convey the reasons, ways, premises, and hostility for something. It is also necessary to know the accent when speaking these words. Usually, when you want to put a feeling that the conversation is not over yet, you may raise the tone at the end like 거든요, 잖아요. However, raising the tone does not mean that you are questioning. And be careful when you use 거든요 in a conversation with the elder, because you might give a feeling that he or she is treated with disdain. So, it's better and safe to use the word only when you are sure that the other person doesn't know the content. In summary, the common things between 거든요 and 잖아요 are that they are used only in conversations with listeners or in letters. And they are in relation to the connection of what you want to convey. And you raise or lower the word's ending tones depending on the situation. The difference between the two depends on which way you think of whether or not the other person knows the content. The words can be expressed in many ways, including reasons, ways, premises, and antipathy. Today, you learned about the two ending words that Koreans use a lot during conversations. If you focus too much on the functions of the words, you can be confused with other grammar words that function the same, like 기 때문이에요 or 지요. So, put the focus on how much the listener knows in using these words 거든요 and 잖아요. Thank you for watching. See you again.